Hello, hello, everybody. Looks like we are live. Yes, I'm getting a message that our live stream is at excellent strength. Awesome. Love that. Love that kind of message as opposed to the other one. All right. Hello, hello. Getting settled here, getting everything organized. Good to see you guys. Hello, hello. I already see the comments flying in. We will go and take a look at those in just a second, but first let me do a quick introduction to all my channel members. I love you guys so much. We'll say hello in just a moment. My name is Elaine. I am the Animal Reiki Lady. You know me as the Animal Reiki Lady. I'm an Animal Reiki Master, Animal Chaplain, Animal Medium, everything that has to do with animals and humans, humans and our connection with all animals. And that includes I've made a really cool connection with the crows in my little area. I can't wait to share a little bit more about that. But this is all about, especially for those who have been through the loss of an animal companion. Those of us who have been through the loss of a soul pet, this is the community that meets every single Monday. And tonight I have an even bigger reason why we all need to continue to meet here every Monday night. Because I think that we are changing something when we meet together as a group like this. But this is a conversation, so it's a live stream. If you have recently been through the loss of an animal companion, you're here because you're struggling with the grief, you're in with it, you're in deep with it. This is the place to be, because here you are heard, you are seen, you are virtually held. You'll see all the beautiful comments that come up from all of the channel members supporting each other. Everybody holds each other because we've all been through it. We know exactly where you've been and where you are and where you're going. So join us together as we begin to do more than just heal after the loss of our animal companion, to come out as even better, more whole, complete beings on the other side of it. So this is a live stream. That means if you're watching this 5 years from now, you're watching it recorded, but we have a conversation. There are conversations that go on in the chat. It's me talking to you, you guys commenting in the comments, me answering questions, but we are talking about our beautiful soul pets and how we continue to move forward, moving forward, not moving on, how we continue to move forward after they've crossed the rainbow bridge. And tonight we're going to be talking about loss. So when I begin to talk about tonight's topic, it'll be a couple minutes. I want to say hello to everybody first. When I'm going to talk about what feels on the surface to be like a dense topic, loss. What is loss and why do we go through so much loss in our lives? But then I'm going to kind of spin it around and we're going to go a little bit down the rabbit hole like we always do. I love to explore everything. I'm going to bring up tonight a book called Jonathan Livingston Seagull. Don't know if anybody here has read it. We had to read it in high school. I remember not that I didn't understand it, but the message of it did not click. Now it clicks. But how just don't follow the status quo. Go your own way, and you'll find healing, and that's what we do here also. So we go down the rabbit hole is where I was going with that. So let's say hello to everybody first. Welcome all of our channel members, and then I'll say hello to everybody. Everybody here is welcome. So I try to say hello to everybody. I try not ever to miss anybody. And if you want to comment, if you're not a channel member and you want to say hi and you want to share in the comments the name of your animal companion, please do that, because you're welcome here, and we'll hold you. Literally, we will hold the space for you. Okay, who do we got? Nico's mama is might have to catch the replay. That's okay. I'm glad you said hello. Thank you for saying hello. We're glad to have you here. And Kali, hello. Good to see you. Sherry, good to see you too. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Yep, there you go. Because it just does help it helps our channel to reach more people. Hi. Oh yeah, everybody's saying hi to Kali. Hi, Sherry. Who else do we have on here? Where's all my little channel members tonight? Where's Sharon? And well, we know that. Hi, Anne. Oh, there's Sharon. Hello. Woo-woo and rabbit holes. You got it. Anne, Sharon. Who else do I have? Okay, so you know the cats and Kathy, I haven't seen in a little bit. There's a couple people. And we know where Cheryl's schedule had to change a little bit, so she catches the replay. So hi, everybody. Say hello, Ms. Nunya, New York business. We miss you and look forward to the day that you're back on the live streams. But who else are we missing? I can't think off the top of my head. Z with pockets. It'll come to me as everybody shows up. Who else is here tonight? Sarah, good to see you. Hello, hello. And Lady Leoman, Cassie. No, yes, Cassie. Uh, Jody, good to see you also. And all right, I think we're all caught up. So I don't see a lot of questions. Yeah, rabbit holes are fun. When we go down the rabbit hole, what I talk about is we explore everything. This is more than just a channel that talks about the ways that we heal, how to connect with our animal companions. We do talk about that. That's part of the rabbit hole. How do we make connection with our animals as they've crossed to the other side? How do we receive messages from them? How do we reestablish a connection with them? And then what are the ways that they send us signs? What are the ways they reach out to us? So it requires a little bit of suspending your disbelief that they still exist, because there's no separation. If that's one message that we repeat again and again, is that when our animal companions leave their physical body, they don't leave us. And it's more than just a beautiful little saying that love doesn't die. Their love doesn't die. Their soul continues to exist. It just has transitioned out of a physical state into a non-physical state. And they will continue to try to reach out to us from the very second. There's no separation from them. For them, from the very second that they first transition, they will try to get your attention, and they will never stop trying. And once they get your attention, they will continue to connect with you. They want to show us. I keep saying you, but I'm included in that. They want to show us that there's something else going on here. And that's why we go down the rabbit hole, because we explore all the options. And sometimes it makes a lot of sense to people. Sometimes I know I have a lot more faith in the other side. Like I have, it's not even faith. I have a total belief. I have a knowing. And it's because all of you have allowed me to make connections with your animal companions on the other side. And it does remind me that it has been a while, and I haven't shared publicly the dark night of the soul that I personally went through. It really kind of sent me for a little bit of a loop, and maybe I'll talk about it at some time. You know that you guys who follow this regularly know that my husband passed in November, but it was even before that. When we had to move from my beautiful home in Colorado to Wisconsin, and it was so dense and so dark and gray here, and that impacted my mental health. And then for my husband to get sick and then his passing, there was a whole period of time, it was at least a year, possibly longer, that that I was not myself. And I was doing readings for everybody, but it became overwhelming and it became too much, and my energy was not there. And then Teotihuacan happened. And that's why I'm doing the retreat to Teo. We're not going to spend much time on that tonight at all. That'll be for another time. But hi, Gina. I, how do animals want to be fed? Oh, hang on a second. Pat has also had a shift in schedule, so I don't know. I don't know what Pat's schedule is, but he's unable to be with us on Mondays anymore either. Okay, so where was I going? So Teotihuacan. When I went to Teotihuacan, I did it as a personal retreat. It was offered to me. This opportunity was offered to me to go, and I said yes, because I needed to get away and I needed to do something different. And I love ancient history, and I wanted to be able to walk the pyramids, and I wanted to experience all of that ancient history. What I didn't realize was just how cracked open, just how, I mean, it was, if I've had many spiritual awakenings, and it was even deeper. When that happened, everything shifted again. My energy, it just flowed back to me. My connection with animals, even deeper. Like I mentioned that I have a connection with crows. I had that in Colorado. In Colorado, I had a beautiful, beautiful flock of crows and magpies, and every day I spend with them. They would land on my patio. They stayed on my patio. They were fed. They were watered. We talked, because magpies can chat. The crows knew how to get my attention when they were hungry for peanuts. And I moved to Wisconsin, and I didn't have any of that, and I felt so alone, not just on a person to person level, but on an animal to person level. Well, guess what? My crows came back. They're here every day. They sit in the tree right across. There's a whole bank of trees out my window. They will call for me when they're ready for their peanuts. I go outside. I whistle. All I have to do is whistle. And you can hear them call back, and they come in and they get their peanuts. So things have completely changed for the better. And when I explain to people how we can go through a time of darkness and grief and loss and come out even better for it on the other side, I am telling you this from personal experience. From my 3 senior dogs who crossed, they're the ones, Lucy back in 2020, the first to go. But I literally, the first to go, the first to take the journey, and then followed instantly by Winston. And then it was about a year later, as I watched Jack go through a period of depression, about a year later that Jack went. But to know that they're all 3 over there with my husband, and now I am here continuing this beautiful work, having this lovely community, and feeling so much more than myself again. And I had no intention of going into all that, but here we go. Donna. Donna. Hello, I love you so much. Donna emails me on occasion, but I don't know why I can't see Donna's comments. You guys can, I cannot. It makes no sense to me whatsoever. I've gone through and checked every single setting to make sure that there's nothing blocking people from chatting. In fact, I would have to physically remove somebody from the chat if if a stranger came in and started posting weird things. But I cannot see Donna's comments, but I don't know why that is. So tonight, what I want to talk about is loss, and I'm going to kind of flip it on its head, and we'll also do a little bit of the rabbit hole. Maybe we aren't moving ahead or leaving them behind, but moving towards them. Ooh, I love that, Kali. Moving towards them, because what they have done is enter a space, an energetic, non-physical space that is so powerful, and we are stuck here in the physical, literally. We are in physical bodies, glued to the earth with gravity, going through all of the ridiculous things that we have created as part of our experience here on planet Earth. And we have created some, I frequently have a conversation with God going, that was a real cool experiment, but I don't think it worked. Let's do something different, because there's a whole lot out there that I don't think is working. All right, let me just check the comments here. How do animals want to be fed? Gina, I am not sure what you're asking. Oh, Sarah, you don't see Donna's comments either. It doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't make any sense to me. Check and see if your comments are set to show all. Let me check that. It was on top chat. I usually open that right away. Live chat, all messages visible. Give me a second here. Donna! All right. I got it. Thank you. Thank you for that. Oh yeah, this is a one-woman show here for anybody who is watching this for the first time. I don't have a cameraman. I don't have a script. I don't have it's me just talking to you with what comes out of my heart and what comes into my mind from all your beautiful animal companions. So, going back to centering back again to, I want to start doing readings again for you guys. And I'm going to figure out how to do that. And it might mean something other than a live stream, but I really, really want to do that again for you guys. All right, look at everybody's. I'm sure everybody's rolling their eyes at me for not checking my top chat. But anyway, it doesn't matter. So Sarah, there you go. Just change your chat comments. Does anyone else find after losing one fur baby, it puts you on edge worrying about the others that you still have? So the answer to that is yes. And I think that's going to come up tonight too, as I talk about loss and how I want us to shift the dynamic when we think of loss. Because I no longer fear my own death. I also no longer fear Gypsy's passing. Gypsy is who shares my life now. And that fear is gone. That fear of her transitioning out of the physical. I know. We talked about this last week. I know that she will pass before me, and I accept it. I accepted it when I brought her into my home. I knew it. I know it with my logical mind, and we talked about how we know it with our mind, but when it comes to our heart and when it actually happens, our heart just crumbles, even though we knew and we were prepared. But guess what? I do not fear that. I do not. It's gone. I think having these conversations and sharing all of this information has helped to rewire my brain. And that's what we're going to talk about tonight. How you can start to take steps that will physically change the way that your brain processes grief. I am certain that when it's Gypsy's time to cross, I will be sad. I will not want to make the decision. I will I know that I will go through all those things, but that anticipatory fear, that anticipatory grief of, I just know that it's going to happen one day, and I worry, and now I worry every day. Is she eating right? It's gone, literally gone. So I want to help you get to that place. I love her desperately. She's my best friend right now. Gypsy is my best buddy. Look, her ears pop up over the sofa. She's like, yep, that's me. It's your best friend here. But that anticipatory grief is gone. So I would like to be able to get you guys there. And there was a question about the food that I missed. Somebody was asking me about how do pets want to be fed. I know what I think our animal companions want. Our animal companions, in particular dogs, I think cats are less cooperative. Dogs they'll do whatever they think is best for us. They will eat the kibble if that's what we feed them, because they want to please us so much. I believe that they deserve. I don't know if have they spoken to me and said, this is what I want? No, they have not. Do I believe that our animal companions deserve to eat real food? Yes, I do. And I understand the whole thing. I get the whole thing. It's expensive. It's time consuming. It is, but yes, I believe that our beautiful animal companions deserve to eat whole food. Okay, random discussion for some time. I don't know what that, I've missed something. So I try to catch all the comments as we're going on. Hypervigilance and activated nervous system. Yep. That hypervigilance and activated nervous system. And we even talked about PTSD last week, that, it sticks with us, and we also hold it in our body. That's where PTSD comes from. It is this in our mind, our body, every fiber of our being, in the fascia that holds our skin in place, and everything holds on to that trauma. And unless we find a way to process it and deactivate it, we are stuck with that. And it will always, it's why our heart starts to race. I mentioned going into the town where the hospital was, when we pass the veterinary office, we physically can feel it. There's a couple ways that we can change that, and I'm going to share tonight one or two of those ways that will help you release the physical part of it and also start to rewire your brain, because it's a mental thing. It's mental, emotional, physical. It's all tied together when we go through a traumatic experience such as the passing of an animal companion. There was one more thing I was going to say about that. Oh, the trees. I know that everybody thinks I'm a tree hugger. In my family, if they had to pick who was the tree hugger, they would pick me. And they'd be the ones who, as I hug the tree, would be going, oh, there she goes again. Until I get them to hug a tree. If I could get somebody to hug a tree with me, and I would love you guys to do this too. You don't have to hug the tree if you don't want to. It does feel really good. When you stand by a tree, there's a reason for it that I'm sharing this. When you stand by a tree, and preferably with your bare feet. If it's the wintertime, you can touch the ground with your hands. You can touch the tree with your hands. Trees put off a hormone. They put off a phytocyte. I can't think of the name of the hormone. You can look it up. Trees put off a hormone that helps to calm our nervous system. When you go outside, even if it was for 15 or 20 minutes, 5 minutes if that's all you have, an hour is even better. When you can walk in nature, your fight or flight system that is part of that whole automatic response quiets. It's the amygdala in your brain. That's the fight or flight center. I know I'm getting a little technical here, but this is it's what I spend my time doing. Your amygdala, the fight or flight, when you feel that, if you can go outside, walk in nature. If you don't have trees, you can do the same thing happens on the beach by an ocean. It happens with any running water. So that if you're near a stream, the same thing. It calms the nervous system. And if you can do that for an hour, do it for an hour once a week, or do it 5 minutes a day. But we exist in this beautiful world that we sometimes never pay attention to. And our beautiful trees, our beautiful nature, the sun, getting regular sunshine, the wind, breathing that in and feeling the wind on your body, it all helps to release that stress. It's a trauma stress and it's a physical response. And that's one of the ways that you can release it. And I'm going to talk about why we want to do that in just a minute. Okay, I can see the comments scrolling by really fast. I'm thinking of the issue of predation and what may change in diets for animals and humans through ascension. Okay, Gina. Wow, there's a topic for today. Something happened when I was in Teotihuacan. There's, I know, I'm hooked on Teo. Sorry, guys. And until I do the retreat in October, I'll never stop talking about it because it had such a profound effect on me. To be able to stand on the earth of ancient earth and to be able to walk into ancient caverns. And anyway, part of what I did was a meditation inside of a cavern. And I received a message from Mother Earth. I've been trying for years, since I started practicing animal Reiki, I've been trying to stop eating meat. I was raised a carnivore. It was my family. It was the culture. It still is a lot of the culture. I was raised eating meat. I was raised with a father who hunted. I was, that's all, we ate meat. We barbecued, and I could not, I couldn't get away from it. I would try, and I just couldn't. It was such a habit that I couldn't break. When I went to Teo and I did a meditation in a cave, I had bare feet. My feet were touching the earth. My hands were touching the earth. My body was sitting on the earth. I was in the earth because it was a cavern. And I received such an insight from Mother Earth. And her insight to me was, and this is a message for me, I'm not judging anybody who still eats meat. I get it. It's part of being human right now. So many people are switching to veganism though, or vegetarianism. The message I got was to leave my animals alone. It still makes me a little emotional to say this. The message I got was leave my animals alone. I will gift you everything you need with my plants and my trees. Fruits and vegetables are yours to eat. I will give you everything it takes to be healthy. That's what in my meditation, that's the message I received. I will give you everything you need to be healthy. Please leave the animals be. And it was instantaneous. Like, I haven't had nothing. It instantaneously changed my perspective about eating meat. So where does this go to with our animals? I am still trying to figure it out, Gina. I will not tell you that I have the answer because I don't. Gypsy needs meat for her body to work. As far as I know, I'm still asking for insight on that. I have a couple of friends who are vegans who have shown me different vegan dog food that I could start to feed her. It is so freaking expensive. And I've already made a decision that nutrition takes first priority for me. And nutrition takes first priority for Gypsy. I hand make all of her meals, but it makes me angry that that in order to be able to to be able to offer our animal companions good nutrition, it has to break the bank. I think it's wrong. I think that so I'm going through that change, Gina. As I discover what the answers are, I will share it with you. For now, Gypsy gets eggs and meat. She gets eggs and chicken, and she gets fruits and vegetables. But I don't know how else to offer her that nutrition. So as I figure it out, I will be the first to tell you guys if I figure it out. And if that means somehow I got to open my own dog food company, I have no idea how I would do it, but maybe that's the answer right there. Okay. Tree hugger. Yay, Sharon, tree hugger. Run. I don't know what that means. Oh, go running maybe? Maybe that's what Nico's mom is telling us to go outside and run. Phytoncides. I think there's a letter missing in there, but phytocides, something like that. Ruby moss, close your eyes and breathe. Focus on your third eye. Rub, not run. Oh, okay. I get the calmness spending time around outdoor plants and flowers. 100%, Donna, outdoor and indoor. If you have plants inside, they hear you. They hear everything that you say. They sense your feelings as much as animals do, and they respond. But plant consciousness is also a topic for another day. Thank you for Oh, you're welcome, Gina. Truly. We're on this journey together. I am happy that I have the voice. Like, I enjoy this. I love getting on here and talking with you guys. I love being able to share these messages, but I'm on the same journey. I'm learning as much as you guys, and as soon as I learn it, I share it with you. Maybe they can sponsor you as they can feed your lucky animals good food and give us discounts. If I could find a way to make that work, I would. One of my friends, Teddy, started her own dog food company. It's just snack bars. They're vegan, natural snack bars. And what I have learned from her is that she can't get the ingredients to make the food for less than what she sells them for. So if it's $10 a bar, that's because that's what it costs her to get those ingredients. So it's going to shift. I can feel it. It's going to shift. Just like everything else is shifting, it's going to shift. You want to learn more about plant consciousness? I really heard somebody briefly talk about it. If we want to talk about plant consciousness on this channel, I know this channel started out as a way for us to work through the grief of pet loss. That's how I met all of you guys, was through the loss of an animal companion. And if you are watching this for the very first time, you're probably here because you are trying to navigate that. You're trying to work through that depth of loss. But this channel has also evolved. We have evolved to we're going through an awakening ourselves, I think. We are rediscovering that the loss of our animal companion, our animal's companion transitions from the physical to the non-physical has changed something. And we're discovering all of that. We are discovering all of that. So plant consciousness, let's make that a topic. I'm happy to talk about that. I'm happy to talk about it next week because I have discovered a lot about plant consciousness. You want to walk outside and stand under a tree and hold your hand out and ask the plant to touch you? It will happen. I do it all the time now. Now something's going to happen. The plant will try to. You can see sometimes the plant trying to move. But I go to a tree with loose branches. I will hold my hand out and I ask the tree. I say hello. I introduce myself. I love you. You wanna just show me that you can hear me, that you can feel me, that you know what's happening. And sometimes it's wind. I will not lie. But where does that wind come from at that moment in time that makes the branch touch your hand? It happens every single time. So there is magic, and I mean that. There is magic to be had when we remember our connection with nature. So we can talk about plant consciousness. Look, you guys get me started on all kinds of topics. Aliens, angels, ancestors, and plants. Yep, there's water. We haven't talked about water in a while, how alive water is, and the messages we can receive from our water. Let's get on to our tonight's topic. Yesterday in a cave, I was more aware. It was beautiful as I closed my eyes and deep breathing. Oh, Sherry, if you were in a cave, hi Z, how are you? Good to see you. I think I tried to say hello to you earlier and I didn't see your name, so yay. Let's first look at Sherry's comment. In a cave. Maybe needs to start a second channel. Kali, I have thought about it. I've thought about whether I need to shift this channel, and I'm going to get off this subject in just a minute. I have thought about that because I would like to be able to share with you so much more than just about how to work through the loss of our animal companions. I was prompted to do that by Lucy. When my Lucy crossed, she showed me that I have the ability to help other people work through the loss of their animal companions. She also showed me how we are all still connected to animals on the other side, and that's where the readings came from. But now it has become so much more. So I do have to give some thought about, do I expand this channel or do something completely different? Because I think there's a lot that we could talk about. A lot. Deep breath. I was in a nursery today and a young woman working at first about the cave. Sherry, yeah, I get off. I see all the comments and I get off topic. Caves are amazing because you're inside the earth and Mother Earth knows where you are at any moment in time. You put your feet on the earth, Mother Earth, Earth knows where you are. You put your feet in the ocean, whales in Australia know where you are. You are so connected. We are so connected to everything. So I'm glad that you had that experience, Sherry. Um, in a nursery today, a young woman working there in her 20s was talking to the plants. Yes. She said she does it a lot. I talk to them all the time. I have my favorite trees. It's not that I have any tree that's more favorite than another, but I seem to have trees that respond to me differently. And so I call them my favorite trees. They seem to hear me and sense who I am a little bit more than some other trees. But anyway, I thought I saw a comment about vegan. It didn't go well. The dog got sick. Yeah, that's why nutritionally, when I share, I went on to ChatGPT. I type in everything that I feed for Gypsy if I was not going to be feeding her meat. And it keeps telling me she's not going to get enough protein. She's not going to get enough protein. She's not going to also get enough calcium when I take her off kibble. So I think I've got a pretty balanced thing now, but it does include meat. It includes meat, it includes ground up eggshells. It includes the lining of the eggs. Okay. Let's move on. Family trees, perhaps, very possible. I call my crows my family now. All right, let's talk about loss. This is the funny thing that came up to me today when I was thinking about loss. The word loss, I use it in all of my materials, right? Pet loss is SoulPet, pet loss, grief. These are the things that this channel focuses on. But when I realized what loss is and how pervasive it is for us, it is everywhere. Think about that. We lose pets. We lose parents. We have friends who move away. We have relationships that end. We lose jobs. Children grow up. Hair loss. Our body changes. It seems like we even lose our freaking keys, right? Everything, all kinds of things are about loss. It seems to be part of the human experience. If not loss, maybe change, but in the end, that's a form of loss. There is so much divorce, relationships. There is loss that surrounds us. And no one has ever really taught us how to work with that, how to handle it, how to manage it, how to live with it, how to live beyond it. We learn math, we learn history, we learn how to drive, we learn how to brush our teeth, we learn how to tie our shoes. We learn all kinds of things, but with something that seems so fundamentally part of the human experience, we're not taught how to deal with it. We're not taught how to deal with it at all. And instead, what we have is what I would call inherited grief, inherited unhealed loss. As we talked all about the PTSD, we have brought with us generational loss that has never been dealt with. And when I think about how I was trained, how I was taught to deal with loss, the first loss that I can remember is when I was a little girl, and it was my grandfather, was the first family member that died. And we went to a funeral home, and the whole process, the viewing, the funeral, the wailing, the crying, it was, that's how a 7-year-old girl learned what loss was, that's what we're supposed to do. When somebody dies, we're supposed to go off the deep end, and then we have to have all this stuff that makes us even sadder. And it's, I remember feeling sick to my stomach at my grandfather's funeral. And then when my grandmother passed away a few years later, I remember my mom taking me to the funeral home for the wake. And that, again, that came back. I was instantly sick to my stomach. And so then me being sick made everybody else being sad, made everybody else be even more traumatized. And then, so they brought a priest in to sit me down in a small room and talk to me. And I thought, oh my God, I was just thinking this yesterday. How was I taught to deal with grief? That's the way that I was taught. I wasn't taught to handle it at all. And then this is the way that we deal with human loss. Beyond that, then when we have our soul pets, our soul pets who are so tied to us, we're so deeply connected to, who know who accept us for exactly all that unconditional love, accept us for exactly who we are, and then we lose them and we are even further traumatized. I think that it's time to shift that. I think it's time to reteach ourselves. And when we reteach ourselves, we're going to shift things just like we do for everything else. Think of all the things that we have shifted. I would love, the first person that comes to my mind is Z. The next, Sherry, Sharon, Kali, all of you, each and every one of you, Donna, each and every one of you that has been through, that has shared their loss with me. We have changed things. Think about where we first started when we began this journey and where we are now. Something has shifted over time, but I'm jumping ahead of myself. I made myself a few notes here. I just want to check them. Okay, right. These are the things, the trite things that people try to comfort us with because they don't know what else to do. It's not because they're trying to be thoughtless. It's not because they're trying to be mean. It's because nobody ever taught them how to work through their own loss, let alone how to help somebody else through loss. Time heals. They're in a better place. They're out of pain. You can get another dog. You need closure. Don't you think it's time to move on? All of those sayings that they say are so well intended. They just want us to not grieve because they don't know how to handle it. And they don't know how to handle it because nobody taught them either. So we are going to turn that on its head. We are going to shift that because grief isn't something that needs to be fixed. I think that we can honor grief and we can have grief. We just need to understand it in a little bit different way. So pivot, that's the word I'm looking for. It's time to pivot the way that we handle the passing of the transition from our beautiful soul pets, from their beautiful body into a new state of existence, and how we make that connection with them and how we work through that grief. So we learned about grief by watching other people grieve, and we didn't learn the right way. It'd be like being taught by a bad driver how to drive. Excuse me, I got to take a drink of water. And it's not because the people in our lives they didn't set out to teach us that. They didn't know any different. They didn't know any better. And that's also why I can consider it generational grief, because it's just one generation after another responding to grief. And think about all the types of grief that our ancestors before us have had to deal with. In the beginning, if you go all the way back to, we talked about like the Stone Age last week, it was survival. And the fact that, there was very little survival. The infant mortality. There weren't pets. And then that goes on. I'm just going to go back in recent history. Wars, the Depression, all of those things compounded the way that we have been taught to handle grief and the way that people handle grief. And we carry that. We carry that in us. So when I talk about the rabbit hole, part of that is something called generational memory. And that is that collective memory that we've been carrying, here you go, possibly through past lives. So it's not just ancestors. And I mean that recent and past. It's not just our family members from the past that have taught us these things. It could be our own experience in past lives and what we experienced, and we carry that with us. And that grief, that depth, and the way that we responded to grief back then is still part of us. So how do we shift out of that? How do we change it? There's a way to do it. There is a way for us to heal generational grief. There's a way for us to heal generational memories. And we'll talk about it in a sec. Okay, what else did I want to share with you? So two of the things that really prompted me to talk about this were movies. One was a movie, one was a book. I love to share when I'm looking at all these comments. Hang on a sec here. Elaine, we will teach you so much, and she does readings. I promise to get back to those readings. It really, really, really resonates with me. Okay, so I missed something. Oh, Imagine 916. Imagine 916. You must be someone who is new. I don't recognize your name. I'm trying to go back up. The loss of my Lana was the most difficult heartbreak I've ever experienced with the death of a loved one. And it is sometimes the most challenging is with our soul pets. Because they know us so well and we know them so well. They're like our true soul pets. They're our soulmates, and to lose them. So yes, our hearts not only go out to you, we wrap you up in virtual hug. We absolutely wrap you up in a virtual hug. Okay, so I'm gonna let the comments go for a minute. Worried about my mental health. There's no way Pockets is gone because our love hasn't weakened one bit. Z, you're one of the people that I always think of when it comes to this, because I remember when you and I first connected, and I remember how dark it was for you. And to see your beautiful light still shining makes me so happy. So a long road out of the dark place, but it's slowly getting lighter, and we are going to make it even get lighter. Okay, stay focused, Elaine, stay focused. So the movie, if anybody has not seen it yet, I suggest it. Now, somebody said to me there was a sad part in there in the movie that was too sad, and they couldn't get past that. I'm going to ask you to try to get past the sad part. There's one part in the movie that's a little sad, but it's the sheep detectives. The sheep detectives, it's just a cute spoof on a murder mystery kind of thing, like Agatha Christie, kind of Hercule Poirot kind of thing. It's a murder mystery that is solved by sheep. So the sheep are talking, and it's so cute because the sheep are, when the humans are around, all they hear is bah, but when there's no people around, the sheep are actually conversing and they solve this murder. But part of what part of the movie, I won't do any spoilers. I'll try not to spoil it all, but part of the movie is that the sheep believe that they turn into clouds when they die. They believe that when they die, they poof into a cloud, and it gives them comfort to think that. And I know how many times what it brought up for me was how oftentimes we see signs from our animal companions in the clouds. How many cloud imagery photos have we seen on this channel? But the other part is that it's too hard when a loved one passes. It's so hard that they choose to forget. So they say 1, 2, 3, forget. As a group, they do a group forgetting so that they don't have to feel the pain and the hurt of the loss. They just go 1, 2, 3, forget. And then they pick up where they left off. They literally choose to forget until one sheep says, we don't forget. Why would you forget? They deserve your love forever and ever, whether they're here or not. You're not honoring them just because you don't want to feel the pain and the hurt does not honor the love and relationship and beautiful, wonderful time that you had with them in the physical. So that was the first thing that took me to loss. Like, how much would we like to forget sometimes? Truly. If you had the choice to just forget so that you didn't have to feel the pain, would you do it? Now, no, but is there a time that I would have? Yes. Yes, I think there is a time that I would have chosen to forget. And I'm so glad that we don't have that option, because we are learning. Our beautiful animals are showing us something so much more. So then the other thing was a book. If anyone ever had to read Jonathan Livingston Seagull, I had to read it in high school. It didn't resonate with me, as I mentioned, but now it resonates with me so much I just want to reread it, the whole thing all over again. Jonathan Livingston Seagull is a seagull who goes against what all the other seagulls do. All the other seagulls are like, that is not the way a seagull flies. And Jonathan Livingston Seagull says, why not? Why can't we do something different? Who says that it always has to be this way? Who says that we have to have a funeral? Who says? I will tell you guys that my husband made it very, very clear he had no interest in a funeral. He's like, if you guys are just wasting money, wasting love, please don't do that for me. And so we didn't. And everybody kept asking, when's the funeral? When's the funeral? And I'm like, we're not having one because we don't have to. We don't have to do that. My husband would rather be remembered the way he was. He would rather us celebrate him. He would rather us hang out and have a beer and say how funny he was. He was unintentionally funny. He is. So he had no idea some of the things that he said that were so hilarious. And so we did. We sat around and had some beers and laughed and joked, and there was no funeral. Because who says we have to do that? And that's where Jonathan Livingston Seagull comes in. Do something different. When your animal companion crosses, this is out of nowhere, I don't have this in any of my notes. When your animal companion crosses to the other side, I I dare you, not just dare, no, dare is not the right word. I beg you, do something completely different. Do something off the wall that you wouldn't have done otherwise. Do something that will celebrate who they were for you, that will celebrate their life for you. Because we don't have to do this anymore. We don't have to do this anymore because part of the message that has come through to me loud and clear from Pockets to Phoebe to Mew Mew, every single animal has shared with me that death is not the end. And why do we continue to think that they're gone? That there is no loss. We didn't lose them. They haven't gone anywhere. And they're trying to get us to reconnect with that. So what if there's another way for us to honor their death? Vito, hello, hello. What are your thoughts on Lee Asher? He has 240 acres and rescues dogs on a weekly basis and works on getting them becoming happy again. I love Asher House. I know the guy takes a lot of heat for some of the things. Um, I don't care about any of that. I love it doesn't matter if it's cats, dogs, snakes, or turtles. I don't care what the species is. Anybody who, I wish that I could be Lee Asher. I wish I had 240 acres don't we all wish that? Z, I know you do. I keep pointing at your name on the screen. I know you do. Want like to open a sanctuary? I would bring in every senior animal that needs a place to go. Yep, absolutely. So what do I think? That's what I think. I think that I don't judge anybody for any mistakes that they might have made. Like I think there's been financial accusations against the Asher House and that kind of stuff. I don't care about any of that. The man acts out of a place of selflessness and love. So that's what I think about them. Who says we have to? Who says we have to pay taxes? Okay, let's go do it. Right. Z, right? It's a dream, but I think dreams come true. Right now, I'm living a dream. I can't tell you guys. Some of you don't know. Vito doesn't know. Gina, you may not know. I worked in corporate for 35 years. I was a corporate, like, high-heeled, power suit. This was nowhere on my radar, nowhere whatsoever. And now I get to talk to you guys every Monday night. I get to connect with animals on the other side. I get to walk out and hug trees. I get to lead people on beautiful adventures to places like Teotihuacan. Dreams come true. I believe that dreams come true. So when we put the intention out there that we want to be able to save senior dogs, somehow that's going to happen for me. And it's going to happen for Z. And somehow there's a way around the taxes too. There is. Who says we have to do it this way anymore? There's so much wrong with the way that things are set up. Okay. Imagine says, lately my cat's been sitting next to the cabinet where Lana's ashes are. Not a usual spot for her. Oh yeah. Oh, it's more than a message. I'm not sure what your name is in Imagine. Imagine. Feel free to share it. Look, everybody's already commenting. Because cats and dogs know. They know. They see what we can't see, which is usually an energetic connection with their soul, with their spirit that's in the non-physical right now. That's what I keep saying. It's not on the other side. There's no other side. It's in the non-physical, and cats and dogs can see that, and they know it. So, yeah. Okay. Z, I remember meeting you on Zoom. Yep, for sure. Right, we did. Yep. Okay, back to where we were. So what do we do if we really want to make a change? This group that meets every Monday, we are making more than a difference. We are shifting things. We are changing things together. When we come together and have these conversations, and as a community, so we've got the same, there's a solid core group of people that come here every single Monday. We meet, we hang out, we talk, we hold each other, and then we welcome people like Vito and Imagine. We welcome new people into our group, into our fold. We hug them, we share with them, we let them know that their grief is seen and heard. We understand where they are. There will be no judgment from us. And we are here to help you, because what we are doing is rewiring everything. Coming together like this rewires our brain. So even if you can't get outside every day for 5 minutes, my camera is doing weird things. Sorry if you see it moving around. Even if we can't get outside every day for 5 minutes, you can come here every Monday night. Every Monday night, we will have conversations like this, and it is changing the communal consciousness. It's changing group consciousness. It's changing things for anybody who's going through pet loss. They don't even know it. They don't even know that what we are doing when we have these conversations is shifting the energetic pattern that is surrounding anybody who's going through pet loss. And this is even bigger. I know it's down the rabbit hole. I get it. The animals on the other side are doing the same thing. They are together, communally, helping to shift the way that we, stuck in the physical, are responding to grief. And the whole thing is changing. Our brains are rewiring. Think about this. All of the change that every one of you, that I have been through, that every single person here has been through, that change has shifted. It's rewired your own brain, and it has rewired our group brain, and it has rewired the universal consciousness. I don't know all the right words for this. This is getting me into an area that I'm not as I don't have all the right words for, but we're simply driving on a new road now. We're going down a new path, and that path has changed everything. Once we made the split, that we're changing everything. And for everybody who ever jumps into this conversation, again, people who don't even know are having their consciousness change. The grief is going to be a little bit easier for them to carry. It will still be it may still be just as hard for them, but something is changing. We're lifting the load a little bit for everybody. All right, let me check my notes. So that is the beautiful thing about our brain. I've brought this up many times. Talk to, hey, we have a new member. Imagine, share your name, hun. Or whoever, I shouldn't say hun, that's just so, whoever you are. Please, we are so happy to have you as a member. Share your name. Empowered Productions. You are welcome here also. All right, so that got me off track. Our brain, you know that saying, old dogs, new tricks? Can't teach an old dog new tricks? So wrong. Wrong, 100% wrong. Go look at any teachings from Joe Dispenza, Greg Braden. There's another whose name I can't think of, Bruce Lipton. They talk about and Bruce Lipton was a PhD and a professor at University of Wisconsin in Madison, which is right down the road from me. And he talks about how now our brains, they're realizing it was always thought old dogs, new tricks. And the older you got, the more concrete your brain became, and you had no room for growth. Now it's so different. We know that we have neuroplasticity. And when we start to learn something new, when you keep learning something new, this is something else I'm going to suggest too. When you learn something new, like a language, you don't have to learn, you don't have to become fluent in Portuguese, but you can learn a couple new phrases. You can learn a couple new things. Like I'm learning Spanish now. I'm teaching myself Spanish so that when I go to Teo, I'll be able to help communicate. And it wakes up your brain. Your brain then says, oh, I am so alive. I want to learn something more. I want to learn about plant consciousness. I want to learn how to cook. And things start to shift. And when your brain shifts, we are so connected. We're all one. Our hearts, our brains, they're connected in this beautiful field of energy. And where our animal companions are now, we are changing things and shifting things when we start to do this work. So it does take a little bit of work, but not a lot of work. And when you are with a community like this, it's like learning in a group, and things will begin to shift. So we will love more. We will feel grateful more. Feel beauty. Go out and look at something beautiful. Go look at a sunset. those small things are going to shift the way that you handle grief, because you're going to realize that the beauty is not gone, that the beauty is still there. And then your animal companion is going to send you a sign. An eagle's going to fly across the sky. A cloud is going to puff up, or you're just going to see a feather's going to float down, or you'll have a sudden sense of peace and calm in your heart. Even if it's momentary, this is what you're going to feel. You're going to go, wow. Wow, I just feel like calm right now. I feel something shifted. That's your animal companion, um, helping you through make this shift and helping you make this change. I'm really off a little bit of the topic of what I wanted to talk about, but I go with what our beautiful animal companions plant into my soul. I share with you. Okay, so what does this mean? We don't want less love. So it's not that we want to. We don't want to not remember them. We don't want to forget like the sheep forget. We also don't want to feel the depth of pain so bad that we can't get out of bed in the morning. So what we're doing is teaching ourselves how to put the pieces back together. And I just love this analogy. I'm going to keep saying it for as long as it comes to me, like the Japanese pottery. When our heart falls into a million pieces, we put it back together with ribbons of gold. And what comes out on the other side was clearly at one point broken, but has become something so much more beautiful and so much more precious and so much more valuable. And our animal companions are helping us, and we are literally evolving our brains. And as we evolve our own brain, we evolve the group brain, we heal the past trauma, we heal the trauma that's going back generations. And then this is the most beautiful part. Those who have yet to come, those for whom we are the ancestors, we've now shifted so that the grief and the way that we work through it and the way that we respond to it and the way that we deal with it, handle it, there's a word that I'm not getting, navigate it, how we do it is completely different, and it will be different for generations going forward. So we're not just making a difference for ourselves. We're not just making a difference for the people who are finding this video and finding this community. We're making a difference for the future, for our children, our grandchildren, for people that we don't even know, for future generations. So how do I want to wrap this up? SoulPet. SoulPet is more than getting through pet loss. It's not what we're doing anymore. We are becoming people who are learning how to love even more. We are becoming a group of people who won't turn away from the love, who won't be afraid of the love, who embrace it and love even harder than we ever did before. Yeah, I think that we are being invited to do something completely different. Okay, I'm going to look at comments again real quick, but let me just see. I made myself a few little notes and I'm just looking at them on my laptop. It was easier than I usually scribble things on pieces of paper. But I should look at that too. Inherited loss. Yep. We talked about all that. Rewiring our brain. That's what we're doing. We are healing generational trauma. We are healing future loss. And one conversation at a time. One conversation at a time, we're making a difference. And I could not do this without you guys. Okay, let's say hello to the comments real quick. I'm starting to get there. I lost her collar and today she led me right to it. Oh, that happens all the time too. You guys, if you only knew how much your animal companions could help you with all kinds of things. With all kinds of things. With things that get lost. You've got, I don't know, a problem of some kind and you can't reach the solution. Sit down with your paper and write at the top of your paper, Jack, what do I need to do here? I can't see through the forest, through the trees. Tell me what to do. And the first thing that pops into your mind. But other than that, they can orchestrate things behind the scenes, and they're happy to do so because they have such superpowers now that they're on the other side, that they will orchestrate things behind the scenes, and you can call on them for anything. Alchemize, transmute, heal. I love those words. Yes, all good words, all my favorite words. We are alchemizing. That's what we are doing. We are shifting grief into something completely different. And when we alchemize for ourselves, we alchemize for everybody. You are so welcome. Thank you guys for being you. You do so. I couldn't do this without you guys. This is not a one-man show, a one-woman show. This is us together. So, all right, let's make sure I didn't have anything else here I wanted to share. I think I got everything in I wanted to do. That we are rewiring ourselves one tear, one memory, one conversation, one smile at a time. Yeah, because nothing that we love is truly lost. Okay, my friends, I want my Lana to come back and another dog someday, but I'm not ready yet. Do they know when we want them to come back and wait? So the answer to that question is yes. I call it, we haven't had a reincarnation episode in a while, so maybe we're due for one. It is co-creating their reincarnation. You are very capable, and they are very capable of deciding when that's going to be. They're endlessly patient. Time is not the same when outside of the physical. Time is completely different. They will wait for as long as you need, and then you sit down and you co-create. You say, "Show me a sign." I can't remember who it was. You guys tell me if it was one of you. I don't think that it was. That heard a song and said, when I hear this song, that's how we're going to know. So send me the song. And this person had said, when you was saying this to their animal companion, when you're ready, I'll be ready. Just send me the song. And when they heard the song, they went to the shelter and knew that they would find the dog that was meant to come home with them. So it's co-creating is what I call it. It doesn't have to be one-sided. You're not going to miss it. You're not gonna go, wait a minute. What if I don't see them? What if I picked the wrong cat? What if doesn't happen. Does not work that way at all, ever. So thank you. I see Sarah saying that Kirby came back to her. And in Gypsy, I see all three. She has taken on habits, the energetic habits of all three of my animal companions, in addition to her own personality. Okay, we're going to wrap this up. You guys are so welcome. I love you all so very much. Valerie, all you have to do is ask with your heart. So I missed that somebody's name is Valerie. And that might be Imagine, right? Lana will bring a new animal when you are ready. So that has to be Valerie. All right, so we have to remember that. I try to remember everybody's name. Valerie. And Vito says, anyone that has lost a loved one or a beloved pet or pet needs to listen to Immortality, written by the Bee Gees and sung by Celine Dion. So Celine Dion has another one also, right? My Love Will Go On, My Heart Will Go On. It's like every single verse of that song also. But I do appreciate the music. Somebody else posted another song that I'd never heard before. Speak to Me, I think was the title. But okay. The car I was worried about is now living in my house. The car I was worried about is now living in my house. I am not sure what that means. Okay, I'm going to wrap this up. You guys, thank you so much for chatting amongst yourselves. Thank you for supporting each other. Valerie, welcome to the channel. I love you guys. Ashwani. Okay, so Empowered Productions is Ashwani. Thank you for having this channel, and to Kelly. Oh, Kelly Mason, my sister-in-law. Okay, Ashwani, I will make sure that Kelly knows that you joined. Okay, my friends, have a great week. I will see you again next Monday. We'll talk about something fun, like perhaps plant consciousness, perhaps reincarnation, perhaps both. We'll see where spirit guides us. My beautiful friends, take care. Until next week, may animals light your way. Bye, everybody.